Hi there again. My 8-pound garden. Today is, I believe, the 27th of July 2014. I'm not that sure because I've just spent the last 7 days, 6.5 anyway, completely bedbound with this horrible gastric virus that I've had in my life. So after 6.5 days of almost total starvation, eating nothing but 4 bananas, 3 Ryvitas, a small cup of porridge and 2 cups of soup, that's about it, plus several pots of green tea and other things, plenty of fluid. Today I'm feeling a bit better. But I'm feeling a bit better because I've compromised on one of my principles of never taking antibiotics. So after 24 years of being antibiotic free, I've now taken antibiotics. I've gone on a course of those, a 2-day course, and this is day 2 and I'm feeling well enough to do a bit more work in the garden. I'm also fortunate in that my garden assistant, who's holding the camera, and his name is Jacquin, is here to help me today, and we've been quite busy doing odd little jobs around in the garden. In the front garden we've been transplanting a lavender bush which had been growing in the shade of a camphor tree. It's a sage, and I've also pruned back that thing massively because I can't remember what it's called now, but it has myriads of blue flowers, and I've taken all the lower branches off and left it to bush out at the top. So now, after we've done all that, if you look down here, we're going to be planting out a little bit late in the year, roughly 100 bulbs of garlic, most of which have already started to sprout. This is my own organic garlic which I grew last year, although last year I planted it in August. And I had a bumper crop, but I'm just wondering if I planted a few weeks earlier, given that it's sprouting happily itself at the moment, whether or not that's not going to work even better. And we've got the garden ready for it, so we're going to go around the back now and we're going to put those in. In fact, Jacquin's going to do it and I'm going to give him directions. So back to you in just a minute. Okay, this is my garden assistant Jacquin. Say hello, Jacquin.
Hello.
And he's just finishing off raking the bed that we prepared a few days ago by digging up some of the chili plants and filling in with lots of compost and other good stuff, a lot of which came from my sister's house in Nordhook. I'm going to try and squeeze 100 garlic plants into here. Maybe a bit ambitious, I don't know. There's wild garlic growing in there already, if you can see. But it grows everywhere in this garden, so anyway, there's some wild garlic sprouting quite happily over there. It looks like it's got rust actually. It's probably not a good thing. I'll check that later. I don't think it's rust. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is scatter some of this nice organic fertiliser that I have, a few handfuls, over the bed. the soil is so rich already that it doesn't actually need much additional nutrient, and garlic doesn't seem to bother too much. I've found it grows quite well. This is essentially sandy soil, but this is very enriched in humus, so the garlic should do quite well. I might another time grow it in some of these little spaces here. I think that's enough now, thanks Jacquin. Some little spaces in these breeze blocks here that form the edge of my raised beds. Okay, now a little bit of rock dust if you don't mind. Just two handfuls, but small handfuls, please. Just over the whole thing like that. That's perfect. And a bit more. Okay, a bit in the top corner. That's great. Okay, now I'm supposed to plant them 6 inches apart in either direction, but you know, I've found in the past that when you plant them close together it doesn't really matter so much. So I think this pencil's around about 6 inches, so I'm going to ask Jacquin if he'll plant them for me, roughly using the pencil as a guide. Hang on, Jacquin. And we're going to just draw some rows here quickly using the rake as a guide. So our first row will be over there. So Jacquin, if you want to start putting the first one in here. Okay, yeah, now you do it like this. Now you put the next one in there, and you use it like the next one there. Now you don't make the hole with the pencil, Jacquin. You make with your finger. Use the pencil as a measuring thing. That's it. Perfect. Now where the silver bit is, push your finger in again. That's great. And finish to the end of the row. A little bit closer in is fine. That's quite far apart. Bietjie nader. Nie so ver, bietjie nader. Meer to my. Bietjie to my. Come to me a little bit. That's it. Perfect. And dieselfde daar. The same thing there. Excuse me if I communicate in Afrikaans. This is home language. Okay, so that's our first row. Now our second row, I'm going to guess that's about 6 inches. Let's get it straight though. I get it straight by making sure that the rake is in line with the edge of the breeze block. There we go. The same thing here, please, Jacquin. There's your first hole there, okay? But not the whole pencil, just towards the, just sort of here, yeah? There. Perfect. And again. Now you can do this way, this way. Use this is your guide's line here. So make your hole here, using this, yeah, thank you. And the next one. Now you're going this way again. Jacquin, you need to come this way. The pencil must come this way a bit, boy. Ja, 'n bietjie. 'n bietjie. Net te veel nie. Nie net 'n bietjie. Daar's goed nou. Yeah. It must be as straight as this, you see. That's great. And nog een. En my moet rechts wees. Ja, rechtop. Daar's het. Okay. Okay. And two more. Please. Now this pencil must come straight. Straight. That's it. Okay. And then another one. No, a bit further down. Oh, that's fine. Maybe one more at the end. Oh, no, leave it there, it's fine. Now, how many holes have we got here, Jacquin? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I've got 100 bulbs to plant. So it's going to be just about right, I think. Okay, our next row is going to be there. Please do the same thing there. Let's make the first hole here, and then using the pencil, make it straight with this. You see, like that, and make a next hole there. That's great. And all the way along to the end. The pencil must be straight. This, like that, straight like that, see? Now it's straight with this. That's it. Put the pencil straight, Jacquin. Straight.
Straight.
Straight with this. See? There. That's it. And rear. That's perfect. There, that's fine. And another one. And one more. And one more at the end. Very end. The end, no, further down, take the pencil again. At the end there. The pencil must be straight. Put the pencil straight. This pencil has a mind of its own. Okay, boy. Okay, I think we'll redo that hole in a minute, but it's fine. Okay, we're going to carry on for a little while, and we'll show you, we'll be dropping the garlic into the holes in just a few seconds. Okay, we had a quick discussion about the difficulty in perspective from where I'm standing to where he's working down there. We came up with this solution that we'd put the rake on the ground and then we'd stand on it, making an indentation. So we've got our straight line already marked out that way. So all he has to do now is use the pencil to make the holes on the lines that we've just made with the rake. So that's a solution if you're having problems with perspective and communication problems as well sometimes. Okay. Here's a look at that leaf, and I can see that the yellow colour, the red colour, I do apologise, is actually natural to the leaf. And it probably means that the flowers on this one, rather than being a highly scented white flower, will probably be pinkish. But that's not rust by any measure. It's just a healthy little wild garlic. And we've also hit upon another way of measuring this properly, which makes far more sense than my pencil. And Jacquin's using his hand span, which is an even better measure. So once we've made the marks, we just use his hand span, and he can do it very quickly. I've got way more garlic than I've got room to plant it, so I may well end up doing some in pots, and might well end up also putting some in these blocks. I don't know yet. I mean, how much garlic can one actually consume in a year? I did grow it for my homemade Tabasco sauce, but since I closed my business, I don't have anywhere to sell the sauce, so it was very popular. It sold very well because I made it with organic Tabasco. But there we are. I might find a way of marketing it sometime soon because, as I say, it was very popular. So the garlic came from the garden. The Tabasco chilies came from these little guys down here. There's still some there now. And I used cider vinegar and sea salt. And that made a very good, as you know, and that's that was the Tabasco sauce, and I called it fish hook fire because we do have lots of fires here. Okay. Yes, the hand is a far better tool than anything else, It's the one we were born with after all, so we should be using it. The reason why Jacquin's doing this and not me is that having been lying in bed for 7 days, I'm just not able to bend down, stand up, bend down, stand up without getting very dizzy. So he's very kindly agreed to do it for me. He's a great help in the garden because I'm also not able to do any heavy work. So he does my lifting and digging and other things as well. Okay. Now he's using his ingenuity now and actually lining it up with the previous hole, which is another way of doing it. I was going to try and get them asymmetrical, but I don't really have a problem with that. Garlic doesn't really mind. This soil is so rich that there's plenty of nourishment for it, and I think I grew them even close together last year. Okay, and then the last row there, just lift the rake out the way please, Jacquin. Just take the...
Get one hole.
I know, you can come this side and do that. Lift the rake out the way please. We're going to try just that one last row without any rock dust or this little fertiliser I'm using, and if the bulbs are the same then I know that I didn't need to worry too much about it. There we go. This guy's a godsend. He works from the minute he arrives till the minute he leaves, doesn't stop, even in rain, and does a really good job. And I couldn't have done the garden this year without him because I'm now afflicted with arthritis and problems in my spine that stop me from lifting things. And so Jacquin is very much my garden handyman and aid. And he also does the tedious jobs like weeding, so he's perfect really. I don't know if he likes weeding, I don't think he minds too much. He's just pleased for work. Okay, just a few more holes this side and we can put the garlic in, Jacquin. While he's not falling over, I'll give you a quick look at the potatoes, which are very, very happy. Now, again, I've gone against all advice to the contrary. And I've planted shop-bought new potatoes, very small ones, literally only the size of a £1 coin, a bit bigger than a £1 coin, or a, I don't know what is it, America, a euro-sized coin anyway, about less than an inch in size, and they've made these really healthy, happy plants. So I've done this in previous years, and I don't see, it doesn't even matter how big the seed potatoes are. And I've never had any problems with blight or other diseases in here. They like the sandy soil and they like the fact I make it very fertile. Okay, we've got all our holes in now. So now Jacquin can pick up the coriander, and it goes in that way around with a little green piece sticking up. Just drop it in the hole to start off with. After we finish, we can go and close them all up. Thank you. That's it, he's just dropping it in the hole. Now all of these have started to sprout already, which was an indicator to me that I was leaving a bit late this year. But that doesn't no harm at all, because same thing happened last year and they grew very happily. It's been quite a lot of showers today. It's been like a British spring day, and some of the showers have been quite heavy, so the ground's quite moist. What you can see in the corner there is a Cape gooseberry just fallen off the parent plant, ready to set seed right where it's landed, so that's going to come out shortly. And there's the parent plant over there growing up through the rosemary, with a fern growing up there as well. So I'll have that Cape gooseberry in a little while as part of my nutrient re-intake. I'm going to stand back to the wall. This is actually a job I enjoy doing normally, it's very relaxing. I'm also planting small cloves, not the big ones, because I found that they're the ones who sprout first. I'm not sure why that is, whether they're the first in the rush to survival or whether it's because they're the ones on the outside. I don't think that's true either. But for some reason all my big cloves haven't gone to seed yet, but all these little baby ones have. Again, I've found that I don't always get massive bulbs of garlic. What I do get is perfectly, as you can see, perfectly okay. I don't usually peel garlic, I just put it straight into the garlic press and squeeze the garlic out and put the balance in the compost bucket. And sometimes the skins are that light I can just use a garlic whole, I just chop it up and you don't even see the skin in a soup or a dal or something like that. So, you know, these aren't, the garlic isn't tough skinned, like the kind you buy at shops, but it hasn't been specially treated for storage or anything like that. It's just been left drying in my pantry, and the temperature's never really gone below 10 degrees or so, because we don't get it colder than that here at the moment. In the interest of comparison, I would point out that the 27th of, it's not the 27th of July today, it's the 24th, will be the same as the 24th of January in the Northern Hemisphere. So it gives you some perspective as to how we're doing in terms of the seasons. And I wouldn't expect to be doing this the 24th of January, along with all the other stuff in the UK, or either in England or Wales, and I've had allotment gardens in both, or in Holland. Sometimes the ground's just too frozen, or just too wet, and I've never had much luck growing garlic over winter in the UK. Okay, here's the last row going in. This is my trial row without any nutrient booster. That's the last one in. Okay, just check all the holes, Jacquin, and make sure everyone's got a piece of garlic in it. It doesn't matter if it hasn't, but I can feel a cup of tea coming on, can't you? Or coffee. It's 8 rows of 7.
All the holes is filled with garlic.
Which is 56. Okay, they're all filled with garlic, so we're ready to go. So now you can just start moving the earth over the top so that they just don't push them down or anything like that, just fill them up with earth from around it. Okay? Just with your hand, not with a rake, because otherwise you might pull them out. There we go. Just that's perfect. Just gently smooth them in, that's it. Great stuff. Here's the rain coming again. I suppose it's going to help water in the garlic. So we're probably going to dash in and have a cup of tea in just a second as soon as you finish doing this. Okay, I suppose a foot just works just as well. Don't really have a problem with the birds pulling the stuff out. I think in wintertime here there's quite a lot of worms on the surface anyway, so that they're not that desperate for worms that they pull out bits of garlic thinking that that's where they get their stuff from. Okay, so there's the garlic bed finished. It's raining on both of us, although the sun is also shining. It's what we call a monkey's wedding in South Africa as well as in the UK. So thank you very much for your help, Jacquin. Let's get all of our stuff inside and go and have a cup of tea. Sound good to you? You think so? Cup of tea?
Yep.
Cool. The kettle has boiled, so we're about to disappear into green tea and coffee heaven. I'm on the green tea and Jacquin's on the coffee. I'm just showing you the wild garlic. We just raked this bed over 7 days ago before I got sick. And you can see how much the garlic has just sprung out of the ground in every direction. I don't mind it because it's easy to rake over and pull out again. But it is a very persistent weed. And it grows absolutely everywhere. Makes big clumps if you don't watch it too carefully. As I say, it's a bit of a pest, but you can see here where I planted the beans 10 days or so ago. Again, you've got garlic. Actually, that's garlic and cherry tomatoes. I have cherry tomatoes for Africa in this garden, having had one plant. Wherever the seed fell, it sprouted. And I can't get rid of the damn things now. Oh, I also told you a mistruth the other time. I told you that peppers don't go red in midwinter here. And this one's just proved me wrong. I don't think they always go red. That one's right on the sunny side of that plant. But anyway, there it is, a red pepper in our equivalent of January. Not that bad, eh? The peas are doing really well inside that little enclosure. Nothing can get at them, and they've also got some protection from the wind. Okay, I think that's going to be me signing off for today, because we're going to go inside now and enjoy a very nice cup of tea. And here is this contradictory sky. One minute it's absolutely pelting it down, the next minute it's a lovely evening. Well, it looks like a lovely evening about to happen. Anyway, that's enough for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll make another video on maybe early next week when we've got something else to report on.